how does sort of the Greek tradition relate to Christian education as it developed in our own country? But how does it differ as well, in your view?
The Greek tradition, so I've got a recent book out on this, on In Search of the Good Life through the eyes of Aristotle, Maimonides, and Aquinas. Interestingly, the Catholic, the Jew, and the pagan philosopher all saw that the ultimate end in life, the ultimate telos, was the knowledge of God. Knowledge was central. Knowledge was thought to be discoverable. It was objective. There was a thing called truth, and you can know it. And Christianity came along, as did Islam, as did Judaism, and adopted and adapted this teleological worldview to their own system of thinking. And in the Christian position, we begin with Jesus 2,000 years ago. He said, "Here then is eternal life, to know God." So central to the Christian experience, to the Christian life, is knowledge. It's not a faith tradition, so to speak. It's a knowledge tradition. And that accounts for why, running through the Middle Ages, where the first universities from Paris to Bologna to you name it, the very first universities that began were all started by Christians, with the idea that faith seeking understanding, fides quorens intellectum, and that's what then came over into America. It was those Christian thinkers. We have to credit those people for founding what we look at today as the universities.
Right. So there was certainly a synthesis, and people will often talk about the medieval synthesis of Christian, the content of Christianity, which was given to us in special revelation, but then where the church sort of, to use the phrase, plundered from Egypt, plundered from the best of those thinkers who had general revelation and common grace, basically, right? Whether it be sort of Augustine taking from the Neoplatonists, or obviously Aquinas in the Middle Ages synthesizing Aristotelian thinking and categories with special revelation from the Bible.
Mm-hmm. Right. Where Jerusalem and Athens, what hath Jerusalem to do with Athens? Faith and reason, or religion and reason. In reality, the Christian viewpoint has always been that religion is reasonable. The Christian religion is, and it's about knowledge. It's not just about blind faith. And again, this is why you can explain not just as a matter of historical accident, but it's part of the DNA of the Christian worldview that helps to explain how the universities arose in Christian medieval Europe and then beyond in America. And as Magawati says, goes on into Korea and India and so forth. When the Christians landed in America, the mottos of all the schools was quite amazing. Veritas for Christ in the Church at Harvard, and then Yale. After Harvard began to drift, Yale decided that they would start afresh and one-up them and call it Lux et Veritas, or light and truth, in reference to Psalm 27. And then Columbia, or Princeton comes along and does the same thing, and as the two books, the Old and New Testament, on their model, under God she flourishes. And then Columbia University, the first one in New York, but probably the fourth in the country. I saw this one myself when I was there. I've been at all of these campuses. Harvard, I have not. I'll be there in 2 weeks, though. But when I was at Columbia, I'd never had the history of that one. But I just walked around the campus and I found, etched in the walls, "In thy light we shall see light," quoting Psalm 36. Mm-hmm. All of these universities were Christ-centered. They began as missionary and minister training centers. Faith was not blind. The Christian faith, was a knowledge tradition.